What is up, guys? Welcome back to the EVB Launchpad channel. We are so excited, and I feel like we haven't done a content session with the team at Intelliank for a few months now. And the main intent for that is because we've been waiting to launch our product, and we're so excited because our product has officially been on the sea for the past week, give or take, meaning we're probably about 30 days out. And the reason why we wanted to get on here with Marcel and Larissa, the founders over at Intelliank, is to really kind of just give you some education in how to launch a product, right? This is a good stair step, in my opinion, for us to talk about what we're going to do in specific. But today we wanted to make it a very educational based video and talk about what these people here are doing in terms of launching and supporting brands in the Amazon space current state. So I'm going to pass it over to Larissa, Marcel, whoever wants to dive in. But like I said, very high level today. I say we talk about anything that you guys recommend, big components that you guys talk about and ensure before you guys go ahead and launch in. And then we'll kind of just make this like podcast style and just bang ideas off each other and have some fun.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you, Mike. Yeah, thank you for having us today. And it's a pleasure always to be here with you and to share the knowledge and education with the entire audience. So when it comes to launching, we usually set up like 3 milestones, and this is what we recommend for the audience as well. So we set up the pre-launch, the launch, and the post-launch phase. And each phase has like its own characteristics and its own somehow steps that needs to be followed. So when it comes to the pre-launch, we always look into the keyword and we do our homework when it comes to actually discovery the keywords and planning what is the approach for targeting in the launch phase the most important keyword for the particular product. And also keep the listing closed. This is mandatory. Make sure that you don't forget the listing being active without the proper launch date set sometime in the future.
And why is that? Just for the people that are listening to this that have been following the journey that haven't launched yet, why should you keep your listing closed?
This is a very good question because, the honeymoon period, the so-called honeymoon period, starts when your listing is very first time active. So Amazon algorithm starts counting like days without sales for your listing, and you don't want to send that signal to Amazon. So you want to make sure from your very first day you are having like sales on the listing, and Amazon sees like your product is converting and actually creating sales velocity and money for Amazon.
Yeah, I love that. The honeymoon period is exactly what it sounds. It's the time frame where you are in this whole new phase of your life. In this scenario, you're in this phase of your brand, and Amazon's really just trying to learn from you, which is, I'm blessed that they give us this opportunity to do it. And it makes sense transparently, but the more that you can do in your honeymoon phase, the better your launch and the success of that product is going to be ultimately.
Yeah, absolutely. The whole idea behind it is to talk to Amazon, and by talking to Amazon is in terms of signals. So, of course, with the A9 algorithm and everything, we're technical guys, so I'm going to get a bit technical. Everyone is looking into the influence that a product gets from the buyers. So if we're talking about adding to wish lists, adding to carts, but the most powerful thing that we've discovered is the actual sale. A full price sale is the most powerful signal that you can send to a product. And when that happens, Amazon knows that that product is desired, that product is the right one for the audience. Now, it's about keeping up the momentum and constantly sending this signal to Amazon. And that's the trick to success. But I like the concept of the honeymoon. We encourage people to think about it before launching, not rushing into it. Keep everything, like Larissa said, if the listing closed and the launch date into the future. And when you have stock, and only when you're ready to launch, open the listing to the public, and that day start sending sales. And how you do that, we're going to get into it soon.
Yeah.
And also the pricing. Make sure you have like a pricing strategy beforehand, and everything is set up like at least in your plan to know exactly what will be the price point you want to start. If you increase it, how you increase it, if you are using coupons and everything, you need to know that beforehand.
Yeah, let's chat about pricing strategy, and we'll chat about our pricing strategy. In the next 30 days here, when we get closer to launch, we can kind of dive into what we'll potentially do. But do you guys have? Well, first of all, I know that there's no cookie cutter way to doing this. It's really dependent on the product. But what are some of the like high level things that you recommend? For example, do you like to start off at a lower price point? Do you like to, have an end goal in mind? When you are increasing price, are you subjected to a certain percentage every time you increase? What does that look like? Any tidbits that you think would be valuable to share with the audience would be awesome.
All right. Larissa, you want to take this or shall I?
You can take this subject. It's
Okay,
your
thank you.
favorite
Yeah.
one, I guess.
All right. I wanted to be a gentleman anyway. So the whole idea behind it is, whenever we, let's say for our own brands, we're also Amazon sellers. So whenever we're building a launch, we're thinking about where we want to go. Of course, at the beginning, we always start with a lower price, usually around break even. We are very open to the market and we want to show everyone on the market that, hey, try this product. It's a new one. It's an affordable one. But whenever, and this is, again, I'm talking about us and our brands, whenever we're building up a product, we want it to end up with a premium product. We don't want to play the price game. At the beginning, we start fresh, then we increment it slowly. And this is a very powerful trick. Never increment it with, let's say, $5 at once. Always go in small bits over time. So over a week, just go with $1 in small batches, like small, adding more or less 20, 30 cents per day or something like that, but not every day. So feel it. It's a matter of feeling there and also looking at the competitors, what they're doing, where they are. And always have in mind what is your designated destination price. So we always look at it and we know that, hey, we want to get here and this is the price that we'll be selling for. But of course, checking the market and how it reacts to the price is very important because, sometimes the plan that we make at home is not the same with the one on the market. So we always need to be open and adapt. In terms of, just tackling into these pricing points, it's like you say, it's not a recipe like to put out on the table. It's more than a feeling, looking at the competitors and starting slowly, but knowing where to go. And regarding like we're about to go into the Prime Day and everything like that, there's a small trick there. You can go maybe above your regular price for, let's say, a period of time, like 60 days prior to that, slowly over, so you can give a nice Prime Day offer and just go back and not have like the smallest price on the market. So that's also a trick, but for later on more advanced strategies.
Yeah, but actually also what we are doing and trying to observe, make sure that you count your inventory very wisely, you know your inventory, and you set up a price point for every inventory level. So at the end, you are not on a loss, you are on profit. But make sure that, for example, if you are having like 500 units, you know for sure that more than 100 you cannot go under a specific price point because you go on a loss. Yeah.
I've never thought about that, but that makes sense. That makes sense a lot. It's kind of like, let's say you set aside 100 units specifically for influencers, that that's going to be a pure loss and therefore that cuts into your profit. But what's that profit plan? What's that road to profit on that order? That's a very interesting thing to think about. And that makes me love it.
And count them. For example, after 2 weeks, you sell like 60 orders at a specific price point. You need to match with your previous estimation pricing strategy and know that it's time to increase the price. Otherwise, you will go on a loss.
Yeah, absolutely. I love what you said there. And I think this is a great opportunity for me to kind of come in and talk a little bit about the journey that we've had with our product, because we're very bullish on it. I think you guys have seen it. In fact, we're gonna make sure that we send over one directly to you guys so that you can utilize it as well. It's awesome. It's a game changer in our eyes. And I'm about to head over to Dubai and I'm gonna be gone for 3 weeks, and I'm so excited because it's gonna make my traveling so much easier. But the journey to get there, we started developing this product like almost 6 months ago at this point, and we could have probably launched it significantly earlier, but we wanted to be very cognitive of price. Okay. We are, and we know, okay, that we're going to be a more premium product. But what we wanted to do when we launched this product was, be in the midst of what the market is currently selling at, which was much lower. Transparently, the average market price is probably about $30 for this product. With what we've implemented and the additional things that we've added into it, we're confident that we can get this over $50, which gives us, north of 50% margins. But knowing that the current market's at $30, we knew that, it wouldn't be advisable for us to launch at $50 because We don't have social proof. We don't have all of these small little things, which I know we're going to talk about reviews here in a second, but we don't have all of these things that really dictate, hey, this is the better product. There is no social proof for a customer to go look at and be like, it looks better, but I can't guarantee. And because we're in that impulse buying kind of price point range, it's hard. It was hard for us. So what we did was we manipulated what our original development plan was. We found ways to reduce our cost of goods is what it really came down to. And that way we can still be profitable at a lower price point. $30, we're still profitable. $35, $40, we're still profitable. And then over time, as we know that we can get this price point up, so hopefully we get it to 50, potentially even 60, potentially even 70, who knows? If people see the value, then we'll go back to our original plan of what we wanted to add into there, where our cost of goods was higher, because now again, if we're talking about that road to profit, we have a clear direction in regards to what kind of margins we can make. But now we actually have it market tested. We know what price point we can sell. And we have these, we were on a call with Brandon Young, the CEO of Seller Systems. And he's like, have things in your back pocket, have these aces in your back pocket that every single time you're putting in a new order, you can easily implement something. Because when we launch our product on Amazon, I guarantee everybody's going to copy it. It's very unique in that sense. We're going through the process of getting a design patent, but even that, you're still not 100% safe. So it's all about innovation. And then ideally, going back to your point of premium pricing and making sure that you're not in a pricing war is so important on Amazon, because you will get eaten alive by the Chinese sellers that are on there, because they're getting pricing, like 50% cheaper than what you're going to get ultimately. So always. I really like what you said there for sure.
Yeah, that's the trick. Yeah.
You want to be a premium seller with a premium product ultimately. So that's the goal, but you start however you can in order to have reviews, have UGC and everything in place. Yeah.
Get the show on the road. Yeah.
Yeah, so let's chat about reviews. Let's chat about UGC, because when it comes to talking about premium products, I think a huge component to that is your positioning off of Amazon as well, building your brand, being more of a social proof off Amazon driven product as well. The more content that you have, the more influencers that you bring in, the people that you have, the photos that you're posting, all these different things. So let's talk about that. Like, what do you guys recommend in terms of launching when it comes to influencers, building brand off of Amazon? And then let's also chat about review strategy, because we're talking about social proof, how important it is, things along those lines. You guys made some really good points on that before our call, so I'd love for you guys to dig into that.
So when it comes to the launching phase, exactly like you said, you are facing the review part. So Marky has here a very good hack, white hack actually, on how to get more reviews, and it's very useful. And you are facing also sales velocity and along with UGC and social media branding and external traffic. So when it comes to reviews, Marky will spill the beans and let you know.
So this is the most important problem whenever you're launching a new product. You're facing you're starting up like everyone else with 0 reviews, unless you can get from let's say a curated database of people that already follow you and they help you out in the process. Our only alternative is Vine, and usually we always start with Vine. Now, a little trick here in terms of, and it's not against Amazon TOS, I am a fan of variations. So whenever I'm launching a new product, I always make sure that I am able to add variations to it. It may be color variation, maybe unit count, it may be anything available, trying to make maybe different type of small modifications just to have, or sometimes just, for the closed audience here. Sometimes I even put the same product into, let's say, the same variation, and I don't bother, but just just override the barcode with the new one, and that's it. So the whole idea behind it is to, and I want to get into this, is to get these products on Amazon and create an ASIN, a separate ASIN for each of them. So bear in mind that the variations need to be separate in order for this to work. Now, you don't want to build them up under the same parent. You want them to be individual. If they're individual, you can each of them enroll into Vine, and you get good reviews for each of them. So you can get up to 30 reviews for each of those variations. Later on, when you combine them, you're starting up faster and more powerful with, depends how many. Let's say you have 4 variations, up to 120 reviews, right? Hope my math is good at this hour. Anyway, the whole idea behind it is that you want to start and leverage this, because at the beginning is the most critical part to boost your review rate and get on the top. I have another trick here that you can implement, 2 more actually. Sometimes you can send like, you can create an ASIN and send 30, 50 units into Amazon on that specific ASIN and roll it into Vine and get reviews on that one. Then leave it dormant. That ASIN will remain dormant. And when you send your entire batch of, let's say, 500 units to Amazon, as an example, you can, create the parent and you start with up to 30 reviews
from day one.
Dormant.
That's
from day one.
That's another trick, because you're leveraging. And for the professional people out there who are selling on multiple marketplaces, whenever you're launching a new product, if you can sync all marketplaces, you can enroll all of them into Vine and you can benefit from the global review accumulation. So you start even stronger. So this is one,
you can have hundreds of reviews with
definitely.
4 variation on 4 marketplaces.
Wow. That is...
So it's about utilizing the tools that we have available. And currently Vine, of course, I don't want to go into the fact that you need to have a very good product and you need to have everything well set up. I'm not talking about bad products here. So it's not the case. Nevertheless, this is a powerful way, at least from what we're doing.
Mike, we could potentially make this work. We have all of our inventory going into a 3PL. They could re-prep. We could literally, exactly like you said, take 30 of our product, make over, let's take 90 of our products, same product, change the ASIN, and therefore change the barcode that's directly on our product, send it in, specifically no advertising, all Vine, and this should literally guarantee over 100 reviews for us, which is going to be huge because this market is, a little bit more competitive than not. There is good social proof on our competitors. So that is a phenomenal strategy. And you gave me goosebumps thinking about that because I'm like, oh my God, how have I not thought about this in the past?
happy to provide good value here. And the whole idea is that you can start in different niches. Requires different starting points. You can start PPC, for example, right from day one, which is very powerful. I don't recommend PPC with 0 reviews, by the way. So in this case, it's Larissa.
And also you can start like your social media, exactly like you start with the reviews, start with some posts, like maybe 20, 30 posts, and make sure that you reach out to people from social media that are ready to receive your product. You can send the product directly to them if the product is not available yet in Amazon from the warehouse or from your own house, and make sure that you collect very good photos and videos with the product in action. So you optimize the listing from day one with UGC. You don't need to be live on Amazon in order to have a social media and to send 20 products to 20 different people to create content for you.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that's huge. I love it. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, that's in terms of user-generated content, which is a powerful tool, and also social media, which is a mandatory thing for anyone who's building a brand. If you're having a brand on Amazon, always consider having a social media presence because people are looking up for you. So it's important to show up and have an active presence everywhere. It's not like it's expensive or anything. So it's a matter of doing it.
Absolutely. I
mean, you have ChatGPT, you have Canva, you can do it.
Yeah. I was going to say with the power of AI nowadays, it's, if you're not doing it, you're leaving money on the table. And, even if you're not getting a crazy amount of followers, you do exactly like you said, especially with a product like ours, it is a little bit more technical than the competitors. Maybe they want to go to social media, see the UGC that we created, the videos of different influencers, other customers that are leveraging our product. And really, maybe that's going to help them buy in. And, back when I started selling on Amazon in 2018 compared to now, it is mandatory to have a social media presence in some capacity. So I love what you're saying there. And I know that you guys also recommend micro-influencers to be able to get UGC and then leverage that on Amazon Post, which I also see as a massive opportunity. I know that they're constantly developing it. It's starting to become a lot more visible on the Amazon platform. So I think you're really hitting 2 birds with 1 stone, regardless of what that cost will look like. Most of the time, you can send them a free product and you're going to get, a good amount of UGC that you can leverage. So
and from one UGC content creator, let's say that you receive 5 good photos. From those 5 good photos, you can create 1 month of content from Amazon Post, because you just remove the background, change the background of the photo. You can put the product in a different position and it's a totally different Amazon post and you get another chance to visibility. Every Amazon post is like a social media post. You get another kind of reach, another kind of visibility. So why not?
Yeah, it's free traffic for sure. No, I totally agree. I want to chat about launching. Now that we've kind of gone through everything that we should do lining up prior to, I would love to kind of go into, the velocity aspect that you talked about. You talked about a couple of things. Okay, creating velocity when we launch. You also talked about identifying keywords. So if you could give us maybe a high level in regards to what is the best strategy in terms of identifying keywords to go after. And then I would love for you guys to just dive into, one of the ranking services that you guys offer, and kind of talk about how that's beneficial and why it will be beneficial for us as well.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So when it comes to keywords, we always start with like from the niche, from the competitors, and also try to see as well the trends. There are some keywords, maybe in the moment you are doing the research, they are having a huge search volume, but they can be like temporary there because it's maybe Prime Day, or it can be Q4, or it can be some seasonal period. So make sure that you are looking into data and you are looking the keyword perspective and the keyword search volume over the last 2 years at least, in order to have a decision on that. This is something that we are doing constantly for all the audits that we are running. And also we are cross-checking with the competitors' keywords. We are selecting those keywords with good search volume, where we can see that your competitors, like top 3-4 competitors, are very well ranked. Most probably their sales are coming from there, right? So this is one simple, very important trick that you need to do. And of course, like a regular keyword research, and try to select the best one. And Marky will explain how we actually plan the keywords in a launching strategy.
Yeah, so coming back to the honeymoon, and this is where everything starts. From day 0, you want to make sure that when you open the listing, on each day of your honeymoon period, you get sales. How can you do that? We can definitely help us in Intelliank with the product testing campaign. What do we do through a product testing campaign? We're actually finding product testers that will test your product. They will get the product from Amazon, they will test it, and they will complete a survey. That survey is information that you want to get from them in terms of whatever questions you want to ask them. This is very powerful, and it's a huge opportunity to do market research. Not that you know that your product is good or bad, but to get insights from and data from your end customers. Now, the whole idea behind it is to get this data and to get the information, and we can do that for you and present it in as a report, so you can analyze it and maybe, who knows, improve the product in the future, or maybe some ideas spark out that you never thought of. We also had some defects in time. So we had some people with defective products, which led to them closing the listing sooner than Amazon would close their account. Because if you start with a defective product, Amazon will definitely see that you get a lot of refunds. So a lot of refunds lead to your account being blocked, because Amazon doesn't want to risk anything. So that's a very powerful hammer that you get from Amazon if that happens. Anyway, the whole purpose of this is, if you're looking behind the scenes, what we're creating for the product is actually, because we'll be following a strategy. We'll be sending in traffic and actual sales on each day that we, based on the strategy we've created. And so each day of your launch, you'll have a certain amount of units that will be purchased by product testers. That will help boost your sales velocity, your momentum, and ranking. Yeah. This is very important for everyone to understand, that whenever you're launching, you're like 0 in front of Amazon. But what signals you're sending to Amazon is the very important factor. And yeah, like I mentioned, you can send different signals, but the most powerful one is the actual sale itself. That tells Amazon that your product is good, is desired, and your end customers are happy. Of course, avoiding getting bad reviews, that will definitely affect you. But if you're looking, and I want to just say one more thing, if you're looking at ranking, how products are being ranked organically on a keyword. So if you're looking for a specific keyword, you'll see the search results there. So you'll have sponsored results, and the one that don't have the sponsored sign, they'll be organic. How you rank there organically, and this is very simple, it's based on the amount of money that you sell for. So if you have 2 products on the same keyword, one product is $10, the other one is $20, imagine that for the $20 product, it will need 1 sale, while for the $10 product, it will need 2 sales to rank up and keep up with the ranking. So it's mathematics at the end of the day. Of course, yeah, it's important to sell on that specific keyword in order to boost the ranking organically.
Just to summarize it, Amazon loves the product that brings more money on that specific keyword. More money, not orders.
It's
money.
a money game, always.
That's all they care about. They just squeeze every little thing out of us. But it's good.
Yeah.
And I think you did a phenomenal job really simplifying it for the audience realistically. And I love your guys' service. You know, we've been using you for a while and it works.
Thank you.
Let alone put the ranking aside, the feedback that you get to be able to, I'm a huge fan. And I think it's so important to succeed on Amazon is to constantly optimize. We talked about having aces in your back pocket, continuously developing, differentiating your product, adding new things. It's all about also solving the problems, taking the feedback that you get, leveraging that, and making sure that your product is always getting better. Because we said at the beginning, Amazon's a social proof driven market. Bad reviews will literally dictate the success of your product. So you want to do everything that you possibly can in order to be successful in this area. So I love it.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That was awesome. I guess one thing that we could potentially dive into to kind of wrap things up is post-launch. Is there anything that you guys recommend? You know, what do you guys have a potentially a high-level workflow that you guys look at from a post-launch perspective, or anything along those lines that you'd like to kind of touch on that milestone in specific?
For sure. So post-launch is exactly as important as the launch phase. In my opinion, and our team, we are applying like monitoring the ranking position and trying to expand the ranking for even better and more keywords and try to optimize the listing, exactly like you said, Brian. So it never stops with the optimization of the listing. You still need to A/B test. You need to see the conversion rate. You need to see how many people are actually landing on your listing. You still need to check constantly the pricing strategy, so you make sure you are still profitable. You can constantly increase the price. And last but not also very, very important, drive more visibility to your listing. So whenever you feel like you have done everything inside Amazon platform, try to drive traffic outside Amazon.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But most importantly, try to focus on the internal Amazon tools, because right now Amazon has the Amazon Post available, at least for the US marketplace. So that's a huge visibility, let's say, booster for any, and it's a small thing that you do in order to get it. That's also where, apart from being displayed on your listing, on your competitors, on your category with Amazon Post, also Amazon Inspire is getting information from Amazon Post, apart from influencers and from affiliates that will create the actual content. The Amazon is getting and gathering information from Amazon Post and displaying it in front of Inspire customers, which are actually the customers that are using the Amazon app. So Inspire is like the TikTok-like shopping experience created for the buyers, the customers from Amazon. So why not be there as well with your brand and everything? So people identify you, see you, and you get more visibility, more clicks, and eventually more sales. That's the goal, right?
Absolutely.
So it all starts with visibility.
Yeah. You know, one thing I'll say, and I'll pass it over to Mike so that we can wrap things up here, is, you know, we leverage Amazon because they give us the tools and the resources. And with that, they also give us the trusted customer base, right? They're really closing a huge gap for us to make launching brands and products really, really easy. And a part of that, and it's something that you guys just need to be okay with. You guys are listening to this today. It's you need to leverage their tools. You need to run money on advertising. You need to do everything that you can, because the more that you do, the happier Amazon will be, and they'll start to favor you a lot more. So I'm also very bullish on that idea, is leverage everything that I possibly can. Whenever there's new tools and features, go in and start utilizing that. You can safely assume they'll never release it to you, but you can safely assume that they're probably going to be pushing that stuff for you. So you might as well get ahead of the curve. For example, TikTok Shop. With TikTok Shop, a lot of the content that's being pushed are the ones that have TikTok Shop products associated to it, right? You can go viral a lot easier because TikTok knows that it's going to make them money. And therefore, if it's making them money, then they're going to push that content over other organic content to begin with. It's the same thing for Amazon, and Inspire is a cool platform that we'll see. Maybe they can compete with TikTok Shop.
Never know. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
guys,
still young on the market, but yeah. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, guys, that's absolutely incredible. so many good tips, tricks. You guys are absolute masters when it comes to launching on Amazon and knowing how to rank and hold those positions and ultimately drive more sales. So personally, I learned a ton on this call. So guys, thank you so much for coming on. Very much looking forward to sitting down with you again when we're further along with our brand and we're getting ready to actually launch and go through that whole process and learn about all the insights and talk about as well all the things that we're going to be doing and implementing in our brand alongside the things that we talked about here today. I absolutely cannot wait for it. So thank you so much for your time and attention today. Guys, if you want to hear that next session as well as future updates that we put out, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel and make sure you're smashing that like button as well. We want to be able to impact the most amount of people with this incredible content that we can. And it really does go a long way. It's completely free to do. But that's it for this session. Guys, thanks again so much. And we will see you on the next one.
See you.
Thank you.